Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is Uglo Fashion and thank you so much for stopping by. In our tutorial class today, I'll be sharing the making of this halter neck cut together jumpsuit. You can see how lovely it is. So please stay tuned and enjoy the tutorial. Please ensure you like and share and remember to subscribe as well. In order to aid my explanation, I sketched the Palazzo jumpsuit out. Next thing, I drafted the bodice pattern on my pattern paper. I drafted the front and also the back. I drafted from shoulder to the under bust, and this is it here. I measured the necessary measurements, my bust circumference and every other thing. So for the net width, I used 3 inches. If you want it to choke you very well, it's your preference, you can use 2.5, and for the length I also used 2.5. For the back width neckline, I measured 3 inches for the width, and for the length I used 1 inch as well. So this is the back neckline. Then I proceed to cut it out. After cutting, you can see I've labeled the back and the front in order not to make mistake, because there is no zipper allowance at all at the back. So, and I proceed to tape down the neckline of the back and that of the front together. So this is the halter neck we are cutting now, and I use 2 inches for the length. But if I'm cutting it on my fabric, I will add 1 inch allowance for seam. So it will make 3 inches on my fabric. But on this pattern paper now, I'll cut 2 inches all around. So I proceed to mark the 2 inches from the front neckline to the back neckline. So you can see there is opening at the shoulder side. I'll still leave it this way, but after cutting it out, I'll tape it well on each other. Next, I proceed to mark the open part at the shoulder side. So I placed my tape at the shoulder and I marked 2.5 inch downward. So it depends on your preference. If you want it to be very open, you can use 3 inches, you can use up to 4 inches. Then you can as well connect it to your chest line or even your bust point. It depends on how exposed you want it, or a few inches to your bust point. But for me, I'll connect it direct to the chest line. So this is what we have now. After connecting, then I proceed to cut it out. So this is our pattern. I'll place this aside and work on the bodies. So this is the front. There are 2 ways to go about the ruffled part of the neckline. Either you cut from the neckline 2 inches all around again, or you can even cut up to like 3 inches all around again. That's one. Or you either do the slash and spread method. So let me show you how to do this first, then we'll move to the slash and spread method. So I cut out the 2 inches I just marked now. You have to replace it back in order not to be short of fabric. So I pick another pattern paper and I place the pattern on it. So I proceed to mark 2 inches. This is just to ensure that it's a bit wider than the usual neckline you have before. So I mark 2 inches at the shoulder side and also at the neckline. And after marking, I proceed to connect the two together on each other. You can see I connected them this way. Then you try to blend it back to your arm side. Please, you can blend it, you can do better than the way I blend mine. You can make it more slant than this. Then after marking it, I proceed to cut it out. So if you place this now on the cape you cut initially, you will see that it's a bit wider. So I brought back the cape and I placed it this way. You remember I measured 2.5 inches earlier, so that's where the ruffle ends. So I placed it where it ended and I began to pleat. You can see how it is. It's a bit wider and it gives me ruffles that I needed. So now it's the slash and spread method. To do this, just place your ruler on your pattern and rule like 4 lines. So after that, you label the 4 lines in order not to make mistake or be confused, although you are not cutting it up to the hem. So when you cut it open, you can place it on another pattern paper this way. Then you tape the side down like you see me do. So after taping the side down, you spread the neckline, but don't spread it too much because the ruffles there isn't really much. So you spread it a bit, then you tape it down, and for me I spread it up to like 7 inches and I connected the neckline together. I don't want it too wide. And at the side here, I extended it by 2 inches. The reason is because, as you can see, it's wide, it's maxi, it's not fitted. Then I connected it back to the armhole. Now we are done with our pattern. I also did the back, and I measured the width I used for the front, which is 7 inches. I measure it at the back here and ensure they are aligned, and at the side also I extend it by 2 inches. You remember there's no zipper at the back. So here is our cape. Then I'll just place the shoulder side on each other this way. I don't want any opening there so as not to add to the measurements I have for the cape. So I close up the shoulder side. Here is our fabric. I cut 32 inches for the width of the front bodies. That's how wide I want it to be. So, and for the length I use 58 inches. So I folded it on each other. You can see it's 2. So I placed it on each other, which means I have 16 inches now. So at the opening here, I marked 2.5 inches right from the shoulder down to the hem. So I marked 2.5 inches, and at the upper side here, I marked ½ inch. So that's where I'll place the pattern. Sorry, I have to turn it over because of the position of the fabric, where the fabric is facing. So I pinned it down to the ½ inch. This is just the allowance to stitch it to the cape. That's why I added ½ inch. Then I proceed to mark from that ½ inch down to my hip measurement. So I used 24 inches for the hip measurement, and after marking the hip, I also added another 3 inches for the crotch. So after the hip, I marked 3 inches for the crotch, and also you remember the 2.5 inches I marked, I added ½ inch allowance to it. That was why I used 2.5 inch. Initially I should use 2 inches. So I connected from the crotch with my curve ruler back to the hip side and mark the ½ inch from that point back up. Next, I proceed to connect it to the hem of the fabric. So to know how wide you want it to be, you can just add like 5 inches to your hip circumference, or you can add up to like 5, 6, 7, depends on your preference, just to ensure that the palazzo is very wide, is a bit wide at the leg side. So having done with that, I proceed to cut it out, and please, I added allowance to the arm side too because I'll be folding that part. I added like ½ inch to the arm side. Next, I picked the back bodies. Remember I added ½ inch, which I will use to stitch it to the cape. So I first measured the ½ inch. Next, at this side, I measured 3.5 inches. If you remember, I used 2.5 for front, but for back I added 1 inch extra, so I used 3.5 for back. Then I placed the pattern directly on the ½ inch again. I measure the hip from shoulder to hip, that's 24. Then next I measure additional 3 inches, which is for the crouch. Next, at the hip line, I measure ½ inch again. This is just for seam allowance. You remember I did the same at the front, so the ½ inch will serve as seam allowance to stitch the midpoint together. Then I picked my curve ruler and I connected it from the crouch to the hip, and I connected the ½ inch to the shoulder side also. So for the hem of the back palazzo, I added 6 inches to the hip circumference. You remember I added 5 at the front, so I added 6 at the back just to ensure that it's a bit bigger than the front. Then I proceed to connect this way. So just, you don't need to measure your hip circumference anyways, just measure the circumference of your hip plus 6 inches at the hem of the back, that is the hem of the back pattern. Then you connect from that under bust down to that hem. Next, I place the remaining fabric on the table and I place the cape pattern on it. So I folded it into 2 this way. So the joint part is where you place the cape. You can see, because there is no opening at the sides, it's just the back that has opening. So I placed it this way, and you remember I said I'll be adding 1 inch allowance for seam. So I proceed to mark the 1 inch allowance down here. The reason for the 1-inch allowance is because the neckline I will use half inch to stitch it, and also I'll use the remaining half to stitch it to the main bodies. And after cutting it out, I also placed it on the fabric again and cut the facing. So this is the halter neck palazzo jumpsuit on the table. So next thing is to proceed to stitch, and to do this I first pick the front bodies. So I pinned the crouch back to the neckline, then I proceed to the machine to stitch. So this is what it looks like after stitching. Next I proceed to stitch the neckline. I use the last tension of my machine just to ensure that it's a bit loose, the thread is loose. So, and I proceed to drag it. I pull the thread just to give me these ruffles at the neckline. So after pulling the thread, just ensure that the thread doesn't break. So after pulling the thread, this is what it looks like. That's for the front. And the back also, I did the same thing. The only difference at the back is that I left opening of 7 inches, but I later extended the 7 inches because it was too hard to wear. So I extended it to like 10 inches at the back. So this is how to fold it. Just fold it on each other and stitch. Then after stitching it, I proceed to pull the thread at the neckline also. So this is our front back bodies on the table. So after that, I pick the crouch part of the back and that of the front. I pin the two together, then stitch it from the crouch back to the hem of the palazzo. So I pinned and stitch. So after stitching, you can see this is what it looks like. The next is to stitch the side, and I pick the front and the back also at the side, and I proceed to the machine to stitch just ½ inch. You remember I did not had much allowance, so I just stitch ½ inch from the arm side down to the hem. Now we are making progress. The next thing is to fold the arm side. So I folded it twice this way, then I proceed to the machine to stitch. We are done with the bodies. The next is the cape. So for the cape, I already added interface, and for one side of the cape I folded it in like this. I ironed it on fold at the hem. I ironed ½ inch there. Then I proceed to the machine to stitch the neckline. So now the cape neckline is ready. Next is to fix it to the main bodies of the cloth. So I picked the pattern and I used it to trace out where it will be fixed. You remember I've indicated it on the pattern. So I notched it out on my cape. You can see I did this only on the facing. I did not do it on the main fabric. The main fabric of the cape was the one I ironed ½ inch inward. So this is the main bodies of the clothes. You can see I've stitched the armhole. Next I picked the side I said I will use for the lining. I picked it, I notched the middle. So I pinned the middle of the facing and also the middle of the front bodies together this way. And after pinning that, I proceed to pin the ruffle side to where I notched. I also did the same for the back before I proceed to the machine. So this is it after stitching it with machine. So I proceed to pick the back of the cape and I stitch the two together on each other. Remember I added ½ inch allowance at the back, so I fixed the two on each other. I actually used button for this jumpsuit. Next I placed the main bodies of the cape on the fabric this way and I stitch around. So this is it on me. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial to the end. See you in my next video. Bye.